VR is awesome when used well. I'm still rather spotty with my VR experience. I own a PlayStation VR and sampled a HTC Vive 2 years ago, but that's it. Probably my most memorable experiences have been Psychonauts and the Rhombus of Ruin, which operates as an adventure game with the same charming characters from the Tim Schafer PS2 original, and the other is Accounting VR, which was just balls-to-the-wall insanity from Justin Roiland that was just a nutty experience. It's important to note that these games are paid VR games, absolutely worth the money too in my opinion. There are, however, a ton of free VR experiences. One of these is the Kingdom Hearts VR experience, available exclusively on the PlayStation 4 for the PlayStation VR. Now, I know this was released earlier this year, but that was essentially a preview experience featuring 2 Kingdom Hearts locations and then a short preview of future content. The new 1.01 update was supposed to come earlier this year, but no matter. It's now here and fans can finally play the full experience. Quick reminder, this game is free. $0, nothing, adjust your expectations accordingly, but be ready for a good time. Kingdom Hearts VR experience is simple enough. However, it's important to note that you will need one PlayStation Move controller, so pull it out of your Zumba belt that you left gathering dust in your closet and be ready to go. Basically, the game is divided into different worlds from across the Kingdom Hearts series. Best place to start is with the Gummy Ship. It's pretty exciting to get to be in the literal shoes, big shoes, of Sora. We're seated in the captain's chair of the Gummy Ship with Donald and Goofy each behind us while the early scenes of Kingdom Hearts 3, pardon me, Kingdom Hearts 2.9 plays. No more, you cheeky bastard. We love you. Once the scene has played out, including a pretty exhilarating moment when Sora holds the Keyblade out in front of you like you're holding it, we transition to a montage sequence with some pretty crazy kaleidoscopic imagery featuring scenes from past games. Just sit back, enjoy the music, and look around. This is pretty much the extent of the Kingdom Hearts VR experience. Witness a scene from the games in first person, then watch a fun montage. It really is fun and immersive, if a bit slight. Being able to turn your head and see Donald and Goofy right behind you is great. Maybe I'm just still in the honeymoon period with VR, but I just love it. What I don't love is that when you're looking at Goofy dead on in the first person, you can't see his pupils, so he looks a bit like a happy little demon with huge eye whites staring back into your VR soul. The next sequence involves Destiny Islands, where we witness the conversation early in the first Kingdom Hearts where Riku talks to Sora and Kairi about wanting to see other worlds. It's a sweet scene that leads into another little video montage that plays out in the water and sky of the islands. These sequences are really well put together and remind me of the live shows like World of Color that play at the Disney theme parks. Is magical too cliche of a word to use in a Disney game? Nah, I don't care. Show me the sparkles! Moving on to the updated worlds, they're about the same. We get Twilight Town, where we share in a conversation with Xion and Axel as we sit on the Twilight Town bell tower as Roxas. We even get our first use of the PlayStation Move controller as we get to eat our very own sea salt ice cream bar. The motion control was a bit finicky for me, though that could have just been my setup, but it's a fun bit of wish fulfillment for KH fans. Just don't look down. We're a bit high up. Also, Xion gets to watch herself die. Fun. Then we have Castle Oblivion, which recreates a sequence in Re-Chain of Memories, the worst game in the series, don't at me, involving Marluxia and Naminé. This was my favorite bit in the experience as I found the height difference between Marluxia and Naminé absolutely hilarious, especially in VR. She's like half his height. It just looks so silly from this perspective. Donald makes this face too, which makes it even more funny to me. It doesn't help either that once the montage show starts, Donald and Goofy just stare pissed at all the spectacle. They are not having fun, and it's just so unintentionally hilarious. Oh, I love it. Next, we have Olympus Coliseum, which gives us some light motion control combat. While scenes from the world play over various objects in the environment, KH-1 model shadows run around and attack you as you get to swipe your Keyblade at them. The motion controls here worked a lot better than the ice cream in Twilight Town for me, though it's still pretty basic. You do kind of feel like a badass, but look like, well, this. I hit the microphone. I call it the DDR effect. After a few shadows attack, including ones that jump from the sky at you, which are very satisfying to hit and send flying into the back wall, we get a large body, oddly modeled from the Kingdom Hearts 3 design in a weird clash of original game engine and Unreal, and the section ends a little too quickly for my taste. Simple, but still a delight. Our final location is the world that never was, where we get the penultimate scene before the final sequence with Xemnas along with the whole gang, Donald, Goofy, Riku, Kairi, and King Mickey. He is still the absolute worst, even in VR. Again, please don't at me. Also, fun fact, the music here is actually Project Astadi's arrangement of Darkness of the Unknown. Pretty cool. Once all the levels are completed, you gain access to a music mode that simply replays all of the musical montage sequences from each world, if you want to watch and listen again without the dialogue scenes preceding them. There's also a little collection section to the experience that seems to serve as an introduction to the core cast of characters that appear here, perhaps as a primer for anyone who hasn't played a Kingdom Hearts game before and is curious. You flip through Jiminy's journal to various brief character bios that beam their respective entries model in front of you, while various cutscene highlights play out around you in the background. What's really weird and morbidly hilarious is that a few characters like Axel and Xion feature their death scenes prominently, which is a choice. Love these characters? Watch them die in immersive VR. Disney approved. And that's the Kingdom Hearts VR experience. It's short, sweet, and simple, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it is free, my friends. If you got a PlayStation VR headset, it's definitely worth checking out. Experience the Kingdom Hearts world in a completely new way that is super delightful for newcomers and longtime fans like me. There are a few quirks here and there, but it's a fun way to kill an hour while enjoying some of the series' best moments, along with experiencing Yoko Shimomura's classic score. Just maybe don't stare at people as Goofy too long. He might be scarier than James Corden from the upcoming horror film Cats. And that's saying something.
Here we go!